I'm very happy that I met today, it's chance, Mr. Dean, who will be my professor, that I developed thesis about Liberland, how to develop love and freedom, and now he will start to teach me. So first, who are you, dear?
Hi, my name is Dean Thomas.
Yes.
I was born in Bristol in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And my life has brought me to, in 1997, Croatia, due to me meeting my now ex-wife in Australia. So it's a big story that led me to Croatia. I live with my mother and father-in-law who were refugees from Vukovar. My ex-wife was originally from Vukovar. My father-in-law and brother-in-law were both prisoners of war in Sremska Mitrovica. Sremska Mitrovica, yeah. And they suffered. When I first came to Vukovar in 1998,
Do you know role of Vrkic in peaceful reintegration? Did you hear about him?
I've heard the name.
Okay, you will see.
Yeah, I've heard the name. When I first came to Vukovar in 1998, I was devastated.
Yes.
Not because of what I saw happen to the people, what I saw happen to the heart and soul of the city.
Yes.
I was brave enough to meet both sides of the border, met Serbs and Croats in Vukovar, and I saw a bigger picture.
Yes.
I saw a bigger story. How did somebody manage to convince two groups of people that were integrated, loving, caring groups of individuals, how did they manage to turn neighbors against each other?
Yes.
That's a story in itself, but I'm not going to go into that political nightmare.
But it's background for Liberland.
For Liberland.
Great.
In November 2016, I somehow, coincidentally, however we want to call it, like I'm meeting today, chance, I saw a news feed article on my social media feed from Liberland, and I read it with intrigue because it was talking about a field which I understand, which is maritime law, because I am a certified ship's master from New Zealand. I've got my ship's papers from New Zealand. So they were discussing how the Croatian authorities were prosecuting basically people that were traveling in no man's land or in international waters on the River Danube. So I put a comment on the post saying, "Have you looked at this part of maritime law, because maritime law is international?" And immediately I had Jedlička and Tom, the American guy, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, contact me privately. Can we meet? This was November last year, or October. And they introduced me to Damir Katusic here in Osijek.
Yes.
I was in Vukovar at the time. And we then went to, him and I met here in Osijek, and we went together to meet Jedlička in Beli Manastir when he was here last November for his court appearance for his infringing Croatian boundaries. That's where I met more and more supporters of Liberland, and then I was asked to source some Croatian wine for Liberland, so that they could white label it for Liberland. And I took it to their Christmas event in Prague last year, in December. Can we just stop there for a second, because my phone is ringing. This continued. We sourced wine from a vineyard in Baranje, and I took it to their event in Prague. And then I met the entire team. I met Denis Pirch, basically the whole diplomatic team. I met a lot of guys from Serbia, a professor from Serbia, another guy from Serbia. And I began to see I was here for a reason, at that present meeting for a reason. And then I was invited to help them write laws for maritime affairs, because they have this vision of creating registers, electronic registrars, that are based upon a law that isn't yet written. And maritime law is well established internationally. It's it's a global legislation, and any authority that, in my opinion, any authority that wants to register boats has to be recognized internationally, has to have some authority, has to have some recognition. And then I began to question how are we going to examine these ships, how are we going to certify these ships, how are we going to ensure that they meet compliance and all of this stuff. We don't want to be another rebel state like Liberia and all of these other red flag countries. And then I got to see the inside, the real motives for this was really, okay, we want to, we can do this, but we're doing it for money. And that's something that I saw. And I entered into many debates with those people that wanted to push it.
What is money for you?
Money is nothing. Money is a tool. It gets me from A to B. It allows me to buy things.
Do you see correlation between moral capital, intellectual capital, social capital, and financial capital? Yes, great. So is it possible that Liberland will be based on moral capital, the most honest people, with the intellectual, with the most knowledgeable people, with social capital, the most socially, really accepted people in the world, so the all people with a warm heart and smart mind will be in some way shareholders of Liberland. Is it possible?
I can expand on that, and I can actually give you.
Do you understand what
I understand what you're saying. The answer to the first point of the question is, I believe people have bought into the dream of one guy.
Yes.
Who came across this piece of land by pure chance.
Yes.
Much the same as I came across with Tomislav Tesla by pure chance, and us today.
Yes.
So there's a purpose for these meetings. There's a purpose for these things happening.
No, excuse me shortly. Can Liberland be paradise in the world?
Yes.
That's it. Great.
But Baranja can also be.
Yeah, but first Liberland, and then we'll show Croatia and Serbia and Bosnia, Hungary, etc.
I want to expand on the Liberland concept because I was involved.
Yes.
I organized their conference in Hungary this year.
No?
I coordinated everything. I was carrying the film crew that came from the USA.
You are optimist. You believe that it can be started.
First thing, you change the president.
Yes, that's it. I agree.
The president needs to go.
Not capable. Yes.
Yeah. My insight into that guy and my correspondence with that guy shows sociopathic behavior, psychotic.
Yes.
He's insecure. He's got a great vision. He's a visionary, but he just doesn't know how to merge.
Yes.
The love and
law, economics, technology, psychology, all.
Yeah.
Art. Great. So synthesis.
Marco. I became engaged by Jedlička directly.
Yes.
He was paying me in Bitcoin to help create this law, to create this boat that was stranded here in Osijek because of whatever happened and all of this stuff. And my background is corporate background, finance. I know the dark side. I know inside out, back to front, upside down. And what I've realized all my life is spirit. And I'll use the word spirit. My higher self, my higher consciousness has always been guiding me towards the light. And just before I met Tomislav Tesla in 2001, at that time I met Tomislav Tesla, my whole life fell apart. My partner returned to Russia, my kids went to Australia, I had to move to Vukovar from Budapest, my business was failing. Bang, in August 2014. The same time I met Tomislav Tesla. In January, February this year, Tesla was contacting me, and I had this issue with Liberland that I was frustrated. I needed money, but I believed I needed money, and I then switched on my spirituality and said, I'm rich as I am. I have everything I need. I was entering into conflict with Jedlička and his inner team. Regarding greed, regarding blindness, stupidity.
Yes. Lack of heart and mind.
Yeah. And when we exposed, and as soon as, if we as a team tried to push this issue into the light, it was no. It was all about the money.
Yes.
And still today it's about the money. It's about how successful we are with our coin raising thing and all of this stuff. And I asked the question, what have they done physically? Is nothing. They've upset people, they've caused political problems within,
Yes.
between countries, within countries. They've
Yes.
used resources of another state to push their cause, which may be a good, which may be a little bit extremist or extravagant, but yes, they're using their abilities because they are funded with something. They have the resources to be able to push people along a path that this is the right way. Maybe the motive behind it. One of the things that I discovered early on in all of this last year of my life is that, and I've said it before in my writings also, is that this is the opportunity, and this is what I saw Liberland as, is not what I see Liberland as today. Liberland is the potential to unify the conflicting region.
To develop peace, love and freedom. Do you believe?
Yes.
That's enough. Thank you.
It's here to transform.
Yes. And you should only find people like you, I would say me and our Pauna, etc., who are capable to create new institution where honesty will be stronger than dishonesty. Intelligence, knowledge, than lack of knowledge. And art with so-called kitsch, you see.
I mean, I'm conscious, I'm very, very closely connected to my family, my kids especially. I'm very well connected to kids in general.
Yes.
I've lived the lives of 10 men.
It will be the best university in the world.
Life
Where
at
the
university
best
is like,
professors will teach young people how to live love and freedom.
yeah. What I did in April of this year was I turned my back on Liberland. I gave a
We have 3 months to prepare.
I wrote directly to the president, Vitya Lichka, and I sent this information also to Dennis Perch and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And it was open. It was real. It was truth. And from that moment, I have been creating an alternative model to Liberland.
Great.
And there's no coincidence that it's located in Knieževo Vinograd.
Yes.
We've already had agreement from the owner to secure the land. And it's a combination of what you, before we even met,
My dream is we have shared vision.
we have a promise of funding
Yes.
from the Native American people
Yes.
through a cryptocurrency that.
Well, all honest people in the world will.
One of the things that we're doing
participate.
in Baranja is creating a sustainable village.
Yes.
But it's focused. Its main focus is innovation. It's new innovation.
Yes.
Bringing the young geniuses.
It is
from-
chance for the whole world. Let's go to